Okay, now we're going to pick up where we left off with the calendar. When we added the class and the study time, those were added to the calendar automatically. Okay, so we didn't have to do that, but we can also add events manually. There's two ways to do this. If you're already on the calendar tab here, you can just click Add Event, or up here in the toolbar, there's also a Add Calendar Event button up here too. Okay, so we'll click this one. Clicking either of those buttons will open this form. Now, first I'm going to just add just a basic one-time event. Let's say you got a dental appointment. You want to put that in there. For the category, we'll call it an appointment. Events can be associated with the class. You can select a class here. They don't have to be. We're not going to want to associate a dental appointment with the class, so we'll leave that blank. And let's say the appointment will be on Friday at, let's say it's 9 a.m. And we're going to give 1 hour for it. With these events, you don't put in a start and end time. You put in a start time and a duration. So we'll start at 9. We'll go for 1 hour, so it'll end at 10. This is not a recurring event, but I'm going to set a reminder for this. I want to be reminded. I've got a dental appointment Friday morning, so I'm going to set the reminder for, let's say, Thursday night at 6 p.m. Okay, and then you can put in a memo down here if you want. It's going to be with Dr. Spock. Okay, that's all that's required. When we're done, we just click Save. And come down here to the 22nd, Friday, and there's our dental appointment. And also this calendar here, this calendar will begin with whatever date you've got selected here. So let's say if you click on the 22nd, it'll shift this up. So we'll start with that day. Okay, that's a single event. Now let's add a recurring event. Let's say your history class has formed a study group. Okay, we'll call it History Study Group, just for something to call it. And for the category, we'll call it a study group. And again, these categories can be edited, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. We're going to associate this with the history class. Now, see, the history class begins. Let's say this is going to be every Tuesday night, starting tomorrow, and it starts at, we'll say, 6 p.m. And we're going to meet from 6 till 8:30. So the duration will be 2.5 hours, and you can put decimals in here. And this is going to recur every Tuesday. The end date will automatically be sent to the end date of the semester. You can change that if you want to. And again, I'll set a reminder. See, the first meeting's tomorrow at 6, so I want to be reminded tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Okay, and for the reminder or the memo, we'll just say meets in Jane's dorm room. Okay. Okay, so we got a recurring event in there. We set a reminder for it, and that should do it. Now we'll click Save. Now, every Tuesday, starting tomorrow, we've got the history study group, where it meets, the times, and we can go through every Tuesday from now till the end of September, and that event's been added. Okay, every Tuesday. Okay, go back to August. Okay, and the reminders we're going to look at a little later. Right now I need to show you something else too. Let's put in another event. Let's say there's a big test coming up on Monday morning for the class. And let's see, we're going to put in test. We'll call it a history test. and we want to be reminded that test is coming up. So we'll pick test for our category, and we're going to associate it with the class again. And this is this class meets Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 till noon. It's going to be Monday morning, next Monday morning. The class starts at 8 o'clock. Okay, so we'll put it at 8 o'clock, and say the test is going to take an hour, so we'll put that in there. It's not recurring, but I want to be reminded of it. So we'll set the reminder for the Sunday night before. And again, we'll say 6 p.m. be a good time for a reminder. Okay, the memo's optional. I'll just leave it out here. Now, when we click save, something's going to happen. The program warns us that the time and date here we put in is going to overlap with another event. It overlaps with the class History 1 on Mondays. Well, yes, it does. It should, because we set it up to kind of go with that class. So this event would overlap. Now we can say no and change the times, or we can go ahead and add it anyway. That's what we're going to do. We'll say yes, go ahead and add it. And so it adds it, and then we come down here to the 25th. Okay, so we've got a history class and a history test. And the overlapping times are going to be shown in red, just to alert you that you've got an overlap in the schedule. Now, depending on the circumstances, and maybe that's what you want. Ordinarily, you'd want to be notified if you've got an overlap. But this test goes with this class, so we expect there to be an overlap. Okay, so there's a way to correct that. If we edit this event, again, you can just double click on it to edit it. What we can do is come into our categories, edit the categories. This form is pretty much the same as the one used to enter or edit the grade weight categories when you're putting in a class. Only we've got an extra control down here that says exclude from overlap check. What you can do is you can take a category and you check that, and you notice when you check this box it places an asterisk in front of the name. Okay, and what that does is any category that is preceded with an asterisk, that category will be excluded from the overlap check. Okay, and you can put this in, you can use the checkbox to turn it on and off with, or you can just type it in manually. See, the checkbox will track along with whatever you do. You can type it in when you put the name in, or you can use the checkbox. It doesn't matter, whichever you prefer. So when you're done, you just click Update. Now up here you see we've got an asterisk up here, and just like before, you can edit these. You can take one, you can delete it, you can add a new one, you can reorder them, move them around, whatever you want to do. So, but then when you're done, you just click OK. Now we've modified the categories so it cleared here because these had to reload. So now, see, our test has the asterisk. Now when we select that category and we click Save, it doesn't warn us about the overlap. But what it does do is now the times here are in blue. And this just helps you to see that this here is this test is associated with this class. It's not technically a separate calendar event. It's just associated with the class, and it's here so you don't forget about the test. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so that's that. Now we're going over here. Now you see we've got classes, we've got study time, we've got appointment, test, study group. You can now you can pick something if you just want to see your appointments. Well, the only one we got here is the 22nd. Okay, if all you want to see are just classes, you can do that. Okay, all moves you back to all. Okay, one more thing to cover real quick here. Also up here you've got what are called tasks. Click that, you can add a task. And again, this is just to help you remember things that are coming up. Let's say you need to got to register for the next semester. Yeah, you don't want to forget to do that. So, yeah, well, spelling is fundamental. And let's say your deadline for that is going to be December 5th. You can just use 12 p.m. Medium, and again you can set a reminder. If the deadline is the 5th, you might want to set your reminder for December 1st. Okay, you can put a description in here if you want. It's not mandatory. If this is descriptive enough, you can just leave that blank. Save it. Now, the thing is, tasks are not added to the calendar because they have there's a deadline date, but there's no specific date and time that they're scheduled for. So basically the difference between these two is that the calendar events are added to the calendar and tasks are not. The tasks are just there to help you just not forget stuff, and that goes along with the reminders. And we're going to get into this in the next not the next lecture, but the one after that. Next, we're going to come back here to classes, and we're going to put in some assignments and some scores and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll see you in the next one.